One Zambia, one nation. It's a pleasure to be with you on your people's channel, ZANIS TV, and indeed, welcome to the news. I'm Alice Banda. Let's take a look at the top stories. Cholera Bridge in Mumbwa to be upgraded to a modern seasonal bridge. Iteji Women Club embarks on cooking oil production using CDF grants. And booming market for dog meat worries Veterinary Association. Government has allocated over 4 million kwacha for the upgrading of the Cholera Bridge in Mumbwa district to a modern seasonal bridge. Mumbwa Central Constituency Member of Parliament, Credo Najua, who is also Southern Province Minister, said this is intended to improve transportation of agro-produce, among others. Speaking when he inspected the construction site, Mr. Nanjua also commended the Road Development Agency for good workmanship in the construction project. Kruger Siankulu has the details.
The Rural Development Agency is nearing the completion of the previously impassable Cholera Bridge. Mumbwa Central Area Member of Parliament, Credo Nanjua, has expressed satisfaction with the ongoing work during his inspection of the bridge under reconstruction.
We received a funding of 4-point-something million so that this bridge could be attended to. So with what we have seen today, I think we are excited, and provisionally our children now, even if it rains heavily now, we have got no more worries. As the area councillor had indicated that it's just recently when one of the children, when passing going to school, was bitten by a snake.
Mumbwa Town Council Director of Works, Innocent Chirwa, was on hand to elaborate on the nature of the works being undertaken on the bridge.
They have installed 3 box culverts as the main discharge for the bridge. And what we have against here is the ring culverts, which are running to support the discharge in the time of high tides or seasonal flooding. So the works that have been done so far, you can see the decking has been done, the wing walls have been done. We are left with head walls that need to be done, and the formation of the approach embankments on both sides.
Mumba Ward Councillor Movin Chasemena has expressed satisfaction with the engineering design, noting that the flow of water aligns with the plant specifications.
So they assured us that when they put this box water and direct the water, so the water has been directed not to go that side, it is now passing smoothly going this side. And there they have put another box culvert and some gravel, meaning they are almost within a month they will be done.
Kruger Siankulu, ZANIS, Mumbwa.
Kabwe District Commissioner Lennox Shimwambwa says the government appreciates partnerships in the provision of classroom space in schools. Mr. Shimwambwa said this during a handover ceremony of a 1-by-3 classroom block constructed at a total cost of over 904 at Lufutoko Primary School. Details in the following report.
With the introduction of free education, the demand for classroom space is increasing. It is against this background that government continues to welcome support in the construction of classroom blocks. At Lufutoko Primary School, a grant-aided facility, a 1-by-3 classroom block has been constructed by Salvation Ministry Church with support from its well-wishers.
So we're grateful to partner with you, Ma'am, at this great and important occasion. This moment signifies not just a physical structure, but a testament of the unwavering commitment of the Salvation Ministries under the able leadership of Reverend Mutinta Mananyanda. Madam, we are cognizant of the fact and appreciate that great works have been done in this community on the provision of education infrastructure and other support to more than 600 learners, and most of them vulnerable groupings.
Salvation Ministry Church leader, Reverend Mutinta Mananyanda, who is also director at Lufutuko Primary School, appreciated government's move to introduce free education.
The introduction of free education by our head of state, President Hakainde Hichilema, the church observed rapid increase in enrollment levels of children. Well-wishers and friends came to the aid of the institution and mobilized the resources to construct this facility we are commissioning at a cost of Zambian kwacha 904,42000. Our hope, yes, Governor, sir, that this facility together with the existing infrastructure will augment government's efforts in the provision of quality education for all.
The district education office and the civic leadership is elated with the construction of the classroom block.
As a district, we are delighted to receive this 1x3 classroom block. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the church for the funding the construction of this classroom block. I wish to encourage the school and the pupils to guard it jealously.
We are going to be very happy if the government will remember, will recognize to build 1x3 classroom block here at Lufutuko Primary School.
And the learners could not hide their joy over the new classes.
I'd like to express our very, very big gratitude for the support that you have been giving to us, unconditional. You have been there for us to ensure that we get the quality education. We as learners of Lufutuko Primary School are elated over the new classroom block because it means we will be learning in a more conducive environment.
Kelvin Tembo for ZANIS in Kabwe, Central Province.
We continue with the news, and in Lunte District, Lunte District Commissioner Joseph Chilando says the introduction of the production units in various schools is performing well and is an indication of government's commitment to groom children in agricultural skills for them to contribute to food security. Mr. Chilando said this when he visited Mokupa Kaoma Secondary School, where he inspected fields under the production unit. Here is a report.
Production units not only enable pupils to acquire survival skills, but also generate income to sustain the schools. To this effect, Mokupa Kaoma Secondary School pupils have planted various crops which will generate income for the school. Lunte District Commissioner Joseph Chilando, who inspected the fields, was impressed with the performance of the production unit at the school.
We have seen ourselves what the school is doing, the secondary section. They have a production unit where they have planted various crops in the garden. We have visited that place. So far, I think we are doing fine. We are implementing the production bodies which the government introduced last year. So I have been going around the schools, especially the secondary schools. They have implemented that policy.
Bwise Mulambia is Mokupa Kaoma Secondary School head teacher.
We had the winter maize, which we are selling the fresh cobs of maize right now. We had about 3 reamers of winter maize, and we have a banana plantation with about 500 stations. Apart from that, we have a viable vegetable garden where we have tomatoes, impwa, cabbages, okra. At least we have involved all the learners so that apart from bringing finances in the school, we also inculcate skills in the learners. In as much that so when they leave school, they can still survive because they would have already developed skills through the production unit.
Schools should be able to stand on their own if they take the initiative of production units seriously. Reporting for ZANIS, Sylvia Zulu in Lunte District.
Chavuma District Education Board Secretary Sylvester Lumbwe has advised the newly recruited teachers to not only focus on the money, but prioritize the welfare of learners. Mr. Lumbwe urged the newly recruited recruits to ensure children are imparted with knowledge, as the government wants quality education to be delivered in all schools. He said this during the handover of appointment letters to teachers at the District Resource Center. More in the following report.
Government is investing hugely in the education sector in a quest to develop the country. This is why the District Education Board Secretary Sylvester Lumbwe is encouraging teachers to support and work closely with the government of the day to foster development.
This job you are given today, it is given to you on behalf of the people of Zambia. And you are going to be appointed on behalf of the president. And the president of Zambia has the mandate of the people of Zambia. And for us in teaching, we only exist because those parents are giving us children. And it is those children that we need to take care of. So, service above self. Look beyond the money, the salary that you receive. Then you get it as a teacher.
And the Dean of Head Teachers, David Sondoi, is appealing to teachers to accept working in rural areas and execute their duties diligently.
This place is rural. And as it is rural, you need to accept that. That you are a teacher who have been sent to go and work in rural area. We expect you, as you are going to deliver your duties in these schools, to be very diligent, respectful, and hardworking.
Meanwhile, National Savings and Credit Bank officials are encouraging teachers to get salary advance to help them settle. In the same vein, are advising against over-borrowing funds, as it can affect their service delivery.
We have a salary advance which you can access, and it's very affordable for you. You don't need your first salary to get it.
I encourage you that don't overborrow as you start. Right now, the 30,000 that are indebted, over-indebted within a period of 1 year. You find that they have borrowed from Bayport. I know you don't know Bayport. Very soon they'll be visiting you. There's Bayport, there's Izwe, there's Goodfellow. There are a number of financial institutions. Please, make your decision wisely. We are here to advise you as financial advisors.
Josephine Banda reporting for ZANIS, Chavuma District in Northwestern Province.
We take a break. More stories when we come back.
Ushe cholera chinshi. Cholera bulwele bwa kupolomia. Omuntu ukwete cholera alapolomia sana eyo nonkuluka. Obusali buba ubwa menshi nokubutuluka ngomo basukire omupunga. Omulwele wa cholera takwata menshi mu mubiri pamulandu wa kuluka ero nokupolomia. Omulwele wa cholera kuti afa munsa 12 na ngontile 12 hours nga taperwa omuti uwafikapo. Usho omuntu kuti akwata shani cholera. Ukunwa menshi ayabula okuwamya nango ayafiko. Okulya ifya kulya nemino iyalamba nango mufipe ifya bulo kusamfya na menshi ayasuma. Ukulya ifya kulya ifyo basunga okwabula okufimbapo ifya kutira na balunshi baleikalapo. Okulya ifya kulya ifya shelepo ifya talala ifya kutira tabafisungire bwino nakalya iyo. Okulya ifya kulya ifyo bashitisha mu misebo. Okulya ifisabo elyo n'omusalo ifya bulo kusamfya. Kuti twaichingirira shani ku bulwele bwa cholera. Wamyenya menshi yakunwa okupitira mu kuipika nango kubika mu chlorine. Sambeni kuminwa na sopo ilo na menshi ayasuma panuma ya kubomfya echimbusu. Kafyaniko ifya kulya ilyo tamulalia. Fimbeni pa fya kulya fyonse pakuti balunshi tabale ikalapo. Mwilalia ifya kulya fisangwa mu misebo. Bomfyeni chimbusu inshita yonse. Mwila bomfya ifikunkubiti nangu ifupepala pakuposa ubusali. Shiningisha inokutila ubusali bonse bwaposwa mu chimbusu. Sungeni chimbusu ichabusaka no kufimbapo inshita yonse. Iimbila abamireterako chipani chimona pabumi.
Welcome back. We take you to Southern Province. A women's club in Shambhala area in Teji district has ventured into cooking oil production after accessing a 40,000 kwacha empowerment grant from the Constituency Development Fund. The Nguzu Maza Club has become an industrious business entity in Shenzongo Chiefdom, which is producing more than 50 liters of cooking oil every day. Frederick Mwansa has more.
This is the sunflower oil expeller machine, gradually crushing sunflower seeds to extract cooking oil. The Nguzu Manza Women's Club owns the machine, which produces affordable cooking oil in Shambhala, Shenzongo Chiefdom of Teji. The Nguzu Manza Women's Club received an empowerment grant from the Constituency Development Fund. Alice Shinyama is the club's chairperson.
Kavunga kesu twakachita apply ku wamba tupe mari kuba cholwe yageza kuhirila grant batu pa 40 pin intwale mbela mzezo kodiwa kwamba tule impongo so tumane tukale twabone impongo tashivi uliva suntwe tulabulawa kwamba ati atwembelele butu wako ata mzezo kwamba ati tule kagayo ka salad butu akalemba ali milungwalu lwakuya ukanso kuya kulomba ati twachincha mzezo wakula impongo twanda kula kasigayo ka salad.
The club produces more than 50 liters of cooking oil daily and has helped its members' livelihoods.
The
civic leadership in the area is happy with how the CDF grants are used, but has some concerns.
Vachikwana kuchita into hinjanji maningi ndichitavo encourage kuti vantu vazumana ndichita ncho vakarembera because tuchisiwa challenge yomwe yakuti vantu vesu vakweza malingo varembera a business proposal yavo ponye vamana alimi vasika akatikati varivonya kuti vazwa munzira yacho vakarembera.
Frederick Mwansa, ZANIS, Teji.
The Gender Division under the Office of the President is committed to empowering women-led cooperatives in the country. Manyando Nelikale Cooperative in Shangombo constituency has become the latest recipient of 250 chicks and other poultry items. Speaking during the handover, Western Province Gender Division Principal Officer Bruce Hamsokwe disclosed that the empowerment is meant to bridge the inequality gap. More in the following report.
This year's Women's Day theme is Invest in Women to Accelerate Progress. The government has continued to support women's progress through the Gender Division under the Office of the President by empowering women-led cooperatives in the country. In line with this, Manyando Nelikale Cooperative in Shangombo District is the latest beneficiary of 250-day-old chicks, poultry equipment, vaccines, and other items.
The purpose of this empowerment this really is to bridge the gap. Okay, issues of equality and equity. We want to make sure that our women are empowered and to make sure that this is one way of mitigating issues to do with gender-based violence. When you empower a woman one will have the power to make a decision.
Shangombo District Commissioner Mubita Siamana thanks the President for the gesture.
Say thank you very much to His Excellence, the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the Vice President, for this consideration. For empowering our women in Shangombo. Indeed, when you empower a woman, you are empowering the nation. This is a great gesture which the people of Shangombo will really appreciate, and we know this is just the beginning of better things to come.
The beneficiaries cannot hold their delight.
For far too long, we have been a laughingstock here in Shangombo, but we are grateful for this gesture. Today we are receiving our equipment. We thank you, Mr. President. We thank you, the Vice President. We thank all our leaders for seeing us. We thank you so much for looking at us.
The prototype assistance, which is meant to uplift people's livelihoods in the district, is meant to be the beginning of bigger projects to come based on the successful performance of current beneficiaries. Kasuka Sakambo reporting, Shangombo District.
In other news, CARE International Zambia has donated cholera infection control materials and funds worth 115,000 kwacha to Mambo District Health Office. Mambo District Health Director Mutale Masamu thanked the institution for the donation, adding that it will go a long way in strengthening healthcare systems aimed at reducing mortality and the spread of the disease. More in this report.
The cholera pandemic has continued to affect the people of Mambo district since the first case was reported. CARE International Zambia has, however, come on board to supplement government efforts in curbing the spread of the disease. The non-governmental organization has donated assorted materials worth 115,000 kwacha to fight against the deadly diarrheal disease. Mambo District Commissioner William Banda received the materials during the handover ceremony held in his district.
As a people of Mambwe district, want to thank CARE International, as the name CARE entails, Zambia for this gesture. That is for donating 65,000 kwacha cash towards cholera risk communication and commodities worth 48,500 towards infection prevention and control.
CARE International Zambia Country Director Chikwe Mbweda, in a speech read on her behalf by CARE International Zambia Eastern Province Emergency Response Coordinator Jacqueline Chalapuka, outlined the significance of the donation.
As an organization that fights for social justice, events of this nature are very unfortunate as they worsen the already existing injustices, thereby robbing people of their right to access quality social services. For if this situation stays longer with us, ladies and gentlemen, our dual efforts of humanitarian and development will be in vain thus far.
Earlier, Mambo District Health Director Mwansa Masamu commended the NGO for the gesture aimed at saving lives.
So since the outbreak on the 23rd of January, we've had a cumulative total of 41 cases. So those are suspected cases. 19 of those results were received from Shpata. So a total of 12 were confirmed, and we have had 39 discharges and unfortunately one death that occurred in Musoro.
And Senior Induna, Augustine Zulu, represented Chief Jumbe at the ceremony.
Mfumo Jumbe niwo yamikira kwambiri kwa aya matenda nizona diafika muno mu Mambwe district. So patandizo hii niwokondwera kwambiri. Very thankful chifukwa muzati tandizira kuti matenda aba achepesedwe.
Sylvester Shimba for ZANIS in Eastern Province.
As we end the news, the Veterinary Association of Zambia, VAZ, says there is a booming underground market for dog meat being sold as goat meat in some public drinking places and on the open market. VAZ President Malcolm Chiowa says there is need for deterrent measures to stop the illegal practice before the trend becomes widespread. Speaking during the VAZ and Animal Welfare Society's joint press briefing in Lusaka, Dr. Chiowa explained that consumption of dog meat exposes humans to diseases such as rabies. He added that dogs are a host to a number of serious zoonotic parasites such as tapeworms, roundworms, and hookworms, which are transmittable to humans. Dr. Chioba observed that to effectively combat the illicit trade, there is need to revisit and revise outdated legislation, such as the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act of 1960. And the Animal Welfare Society Vice Chairperson, Sheila Oparacha, disclosed that the society has evidence that in July 2022, a truck carrying 29 dogs was stopped at a police checkpoint in Mkushi en route to Kapsumbalesa. Dr. Oparacha said out of the 29 dogs, 19 of them survived and that 2 people were convicted for illegal movement of animals and animal cruelty.
We need to be cognizant as a country that we might be having a thriving underground market for dog meat, especially being sold as goat meat, to unsuspecting customers at public drinking places, and the further possibility of such meat being sold on open markets as well. In the absence of deterrent measures, this practice, despite being illegal, may actually become widespread, and its offenders go unpunished. I think we also heard from the area statement about the zoonotic potential, meaning diseases that are transmitted from animals to humans that exist in consumption of dog meat. And some of the diseases, as mentioned earlier, include rabies. I would like to emphasize this point that when someone gets infected with rabies and they show signs of illness, at that stage, it's irreversibly going to be a case of the death of that person. It's a highly fatal disease. And imagine in this kind of trade where there is no point at which experts look at meat, even if it was legal to consume that animal. There is no point at which experts will do ante-mortem examination, like I said. So it means the risk is very high of getting such diseases. Not only rabies is transmitted from dogs. There are other zoonotic diseases such as trichinella, cryptosporidium, roundworms, hookworms, tapeworms, and other skin parasites such as mange.
To show us that this meat trade is taking place. This is evidence that has been collected by the animal welfare organizations. We'll start way back in July 2022, when a truck carrying 29 dogs was intercepted at the police checkpoint in Mukushi, en route to Kasumbalesa, where sadly only 19 dogs survived. 2 individuals were convicted of illegal animal movement and cruelty, with allegations that the dogs were purchased from villagers in Luapula province. November 2022, another incident involving a truck transporting 21 mostly purebred dogs intercepted at Kasumbalesa border. Suspected of selling the dogs for security companies. The dogs were confiscated from the alleged owner and rehomed at the Kitwa Animal Welfare Society.
As we end the news, we take a look at the top stories once again. Chibila Bridge in Mumba to be upgraded to a modern seasonal bridge. Itezitezi Women Club embarks on cooking oil production using CDF grant. And booming market for dog meat worries Veterinary Association. On behalf of the entire newsroom and production team, I'm Alice Banda saying goodbye and God bless you.